I'm gonna miss this snake. I'm really gonna miss this snake. He's such a cool. He's one of the most beautiful snakes. Aloha, top of the morning, friends and family. This is not gonna be an uncut video for your time sake. This is Saturday. It's not going to be a cinematic masterpiece necessarily either. I'm going to trim it up just so I get rid of some of the fat, and you guys don't have to waste any time listening to me ramble on, and I can just get my main points across. I might say some things that some of you don't want to hear, but I feel like you need to hear it, so that's why I'm going to say it. So I just wanted to give a quick update on the snake sales and tell you guys where things are at. I have planned to keep probably like 10 ball pythons than a bunch of my other species. Maybe that will be less. I'm starting to feel like less is definitely more as we continue on in this process. One other thing I'd definitely like to mention right off the bat here is that the person that won Junior here, our Motley Golden Child Head Albino, who those of you who've watched the channel for years know a lot about his story and how deep it goes here. They found out that they can't actually have any animals at the new place that they just moved into, so they had to cancel the win. So I wanted to offer him to any of you who might want him for the same price that he went for at the auction. So if that's you, leave a comment down below or just email me, bkusko@me.com, and maybe Junior will be your snake next week. So I was just today at a global leadership summit for the last today and yesterday, and I had some good takeaways from it that I thought I would share with you guys. There was one of the speakers that really highlighted the emphasis on needing to cut back to move forward. Obviously that message resonated with my current situation. As difficult as it is, I can already see some of the time that's going to free up and some of the resources, mainly the time resource, to be able to tackle some of the other things that I really want to be able to dedicate time to. One of them definitely bringing back Music Mondays. I've been wanting to do that, just haven't had the time resource for a while. And then once I get to clear a little more space in this room too, to have that full drum set set up like I mentioned a few videos ago, I think that is going to be fantastic. The other speaker was focusing on really like the idea of doing the boring things, really being good at doing the boring things, like the things that nobody sees and the things that you just do a day in, day out, which, I mean, for me, I guess a big part of that is video, and video editing is potentially a boring thing. The process is like not necessarily glamorous or like super thrilling, although I do have moments where I get that perfect shot when I'm just like, yes, this was it right here. This is why I filmed video, because of this. Those moments are usually further uh, between the times that they do happen versus the times when I'm just like, yep, gotta cut this, gotta cut this, gotta color grade this,
Got to get this audio good.
so there's that, and just really remembering that, focusing on things like that, how important that is for the bigger outcomes, like the big wins that you might see, that do come from being faithful to doing those boring things that might not be very glamorous in the moment. So that, combined with the speaker who was talking about the cutting back, and one of her analogies was like she actually works with the military and helps them like kind of get their programs more efficient. And she flew in this fighter jet as a training fighter jet, and one of the things they do with this fighter jet is they strip away all of like the hydraulics and the weapon systems and all this stuff, so the plane can go as fast as it possibly can with less power and less fuel. Obviously a great analogy for what's happening here right now. Oh, dude, see, one of my favorite moments. This is one of my favorite moments, and this is only something that happens when you work with a snake and handle them often. But when it comes to like something like a reticulated python, or especially like a colubrid, if you can get them to sit here and chill like this, it's such a rewarding moment. Of course, as soon as I say that, he's gonna move around a little bit, but man, see, I'm gonna miss this snake. I'm really gonna miss this snake. He's such a cool. He's one of the most beautiful snakes. But I could say that for a lot of my snakes. That's the thing, and therein lies the situation where I can't keep them all. I'm not going to keep them all. This process that I've started, I'm trying to move forward with the things that God is calling me to, and I'm trying to discern which things those are. To be honest, there's uncertainty, there's tension, I don't always know. I hope, I pray, and I try to always do the right thing, and try, being the emphasis on that. I don't know that I'm always doing the right thing. This has felt like the right move, as hard as it is to do. It really does feel like the right thing to do. I'm really leaning heavily on Jesus to make these decisions. And like, I was laying in bed this morning, and I was kind of thinking about, or daydreaming. Like, it's kind of like a daydream when you wake up and you're almost going back to sleep. I just had this vision of sitting at this table and just like, Jesus, Jesus, and just like calling the name, and because the power that's there, because he's at the core of the decisions that I'm making, and wanting to really honor God in the things that I'm doing, and not from some kind of like, not necessarily from a belief system, um, but just it's this, there is a belief system that's part of it, but it's really just this faith, these guiding steps that I'm trying to follow, and having faith that he's got the right things for me. That's a hope that I have for everyone. That's a hope that I have for so many people. This guy's tail wagging a little bit. Sometimes that seems like could be a concerning thing, but I don't know. I know that when I share about this stuff, there's often, people that are like, well, why would you share about this? Like, don't talk about this stuff. It's gonna turn away or turn people off from the channel. And I'm not ashamed of the gospel. I'm really not. Um, wow, this guy's got such a tight grip. Here, buddy. Let's do this. When they start getting that tight grip on you, it starts making me a little bit weird. I know, like a carpet python, they really get that tight grip on you. Means it's starting to get a little bit over the handling session. Now with this guy, not necessarily the case, but he's maybe just trying to feel a little more secure, holding onto that rock, that foundation. Um, but the reason that I always come back and share, because again, this is a big part of the drive to make this move, and do this trimming back, and because I'm trying to be faithful to the things that God is calling me to. And the only reason I have any kind of inkling whatsoever to what that is because of my relationship with Jesus Christ. That's the only reason think I have any rock to stand on. Because I'm full of making mistakes. I'm full of the capability of making mistakes, to still make mistakes. Um, I mess up every single day. Every single day I mess up at some point, if not multiple times in a day. But I've never been as alive as I am right now either. And so it's from a place of love that I always want to share this, because maybe people don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I needed people to tell me. Multiple people told me over the time of life, and then obviously it's not something that can be forced, and I can't force it. I'm not going to try and force it, but I am going to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about it often, because if people didn't do that for me, I would never be the place that I am today. So it would be the wrong thing for me to not. It just wouldn't be right. So despite the fact that I know that I'm constantly gonna have people that don't understand it and have blowback, I get it. I get that that's a thing, but it's not. That's not good enough reason for me not to ever talk about it. In fact, I'd like to mention it at some point in every video. But if it doesn't make sense, then I don't want to just be like for no reason. But it makes sense today because it's a huge part of my discernment as to what I'm doing right now with cutting back on some of these snakes, and just making sure that I'm putting my resources and using my time as wisely as possible to do the things that I'm really called to do. Trying to be a good leader of my family, lead by example for the people that watch this channel, while the whole time, again, just acknowledging that I make mistakes constantly every day, that there is grace there. I'm not being called to perfection. I think I'm being called to obedience, and I'm just trying to be obedient. And that's what this looks like. This is what it looks like for me right now. It's a striving, it's a struggle, but it's one that's worth it. Yeah, the reason I'm not doing a full like cinematic masterpiece is, as I've mentioned in previous videos, got a bunch of family here, and I'm really trying to be intentional about having family time despite the different work aspects that I have going on, whether that's videos or these conferences or different things like that. Just trying to make sure I have time for them while they're here, visiting from out of the country, visiting from out of the state. So before I finish the video, I guess I just like to close with encouraging you, if you are in a place of transition, seek God first. Whatever you're going through, there's hope. You're not alone. I'd love to hear in the comments where you're at. I'd love for y'all to leave comments, be respectful, have good discussion. Don't debate. I guess I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do. But I would encourage you to discuss in the comments what are the things you might be going through. You never know. Somebody reading it might be going through the same thing and can offer some advice. Let's help each other out down there. And again, just wanted to, as I always do with this channel, just share where I'm at. It's not some polished up testimony. It's just what I'm going through. So As always, I appreciate all you guys that listen, that tune in on a regular basis, and even those of you that have watched it for the first time. Thank you for tuning in. Leave that comment down below, and I'll be down there to read and reply back. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Aloha.